Mr Speaker.
David Bennett.
E te mana whakawā, tēnā kau, ina mema o te paramata ka mihi, kia koutou, I te uru noa, I te whare nei, tēnā tātou katoa. You'll have to forgive the accent, this bill, I'm not on the Māori Affairs Committee, but it gives me great pleasure to speak on behalf of the government in regard to this bill and to acknowledge our coalition partners that have done such fine work, and especially the Minister in making this bill happen. But over the many years that the Māori Party has delivered for the Māori communities of our country and for our wider community as well, and I think that's shown through the practical things that have come through in legislation like this today. So I'm getting a photo. But no, I would like to congratulate and thank all members of this House. I think the way that everybody's spoken has been a credit to this Parliament and to the traditions of this House. As a European, I never learnt Māori, and in the 70s and 80s, we were never taught it at school, and it was, and I think that's a great disservice to our people of all backgrounds, and we don't feel comfortable as we should in the Māori communities because we don't know the language, and we should know the language a lot more. And every New Zealander, Māori or European or Asian or Pacifica, should know more Māori than they do know. And that is something that this Parliament should do something about, because our generation missed out, and hopefully future generations don't have that problem, and they actually grow up in a community where they actually can partake in it as full members of the community, understanding the language, because language is so vital to any community. And the stories of the past, I think, are tragic and should never have happened. And that shows ignorance and misunderstanding. And you know, I'm sure all members of this House are very sorry for anything that's happened to the language in the past. But I want to take a step forward, looking forward to the language, say, 100 years' time. And if you look in this House in 100 years' time, it won't be the same people in here necessarily representing the same demographics. You will have a much bigger population from an Asian base. You'll have a much bigger population of mixed European and Māori heritage that maybe don't have the opportunity to, or haven't had the opportunity to learn the language they should have. And I think we need to look at the Māori language in the future, because in 100 years' time, we will look back at the Māori language as one of the defining parts of being a New Zealander. And if we don't have that in all aspects of our society, then we will actually be a lot poorer as a country and lose the language in essence from what it should be, which is a treasure for all people, not just a treasure for Māoridom. So I think that this bill is a great step in that process, and I wish all the best to those that will be involved in making the language a reality. It is something that not only for Māori is important, but also for all parts of our community to make sure the Māori language is treasured and also enhanced, and we have a better understanding going forward. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Mr Speaker.